everybody! Welcome to Fifi Quest. It's good to be here on this day of November 10th. Excuse me, November 10th. By the way, on November 10th, I have 4 years and 11 months sober. So yay, me! And I want y'all to know my fingernails say trans rights. Woo! I love this. I thought it was the cutest thing. And he lost, everybody. Oh my god, Trump lost. I can't believe what a relief that was. It didn't feel real right away, you know. It didn't hit me right away, and then it just sort of did, where it was like, oh, I guess Biden won. And I'm like, Biden won! Oh my god, I'm so happy. I didn't realize it, but like, God, I was scared. I didn't realize how scared I was during his whole presidency, and like, I feel like I tried to be so detached from it because it was, you know, secretly so scared about it, and it was so stressful. I kept thinking, oh my god, what on earth is going to happen if he wins again? What is he going to do with 4 more years? Oh my god, but Biden won, and Biden's speech was wonderful. I felt so good about it. He mentioned trans people in his acceptance speech, and disabled people, and so many other groups, and it was wonderful. And I went down to, I don't know, again, I don't know where you listeners are from, but here in LA, we went down to West Hollywood. They did so much safe celebrating, and God, it was fun. People were dancing. Everyone was so happy. Everyone was running around with flags. Just traffic was jammed all the way down Santa Monica Boulevard. People just honking and blasting music, just hanging out of sunroofs and flying flags. And that's LA, man. We even celebrate by getting stuck in traffic. And people were showing their tits. I had half a mind to show my tits that day. My baby's first tits showing. Oh, that'd have been something. Trans tits for Biden and Harris. Hell yeah. Trans tits out for Biden and Harris, and girl dicks pointed towards the horizon for a more hopeful future. Oh my god. I gotta say, I'm warming up to Biden. I really am. By the way, people forget that the reason that Barack Obama came out in support of gay marriage is a lot of that, like, a big thanks in part to Joe Biden, because, you know, if you don't remember, at the time, when, in Obama's first term, when people would ask him about gay marriage, he would do the, well, you know, I love everybody, but, oh, you know, God, and blah, 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 you know, typical politician non-committal crap. And I remember they asked Biden one time at the same time, and Biden basically fucked up and told the truth, and he was like, yeah, no, they should be allowed to get married, and they're equal, and they should be able to love each other like we do. And then, you know, I remember a week later or so, Obama came out in support of gay rights publicly, and it was because Biden did, his vice president, and he can't have the vice president for it and the president nods against it. No, like, would Obama have come out for gay rights in his second term? Probably. He pardoned Chelsea Manning. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Hopefully. But the fact is that happened. But, you know, a right delayed is a right denied and all that. And a big part of that is because of Joe Biden. So I think we owe him that, you know? And, yeah. I'm trying to fix my bangs here. By the way, I'm really liking my hair lately, and I'm really liking how I look lately. I feel beautiful today. I've been looking at my... Guys, I gotta tell you, I passed for the first time somewhere. I went to a Halloween party, and I went there dressed as a witch, and I started talking to this lady, and I never met her before, and we became friends, we were having a good time, and then we were talking on Instagram, and she said, hey, great Instagram, I love your transition, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I had no idea you were trans until you told me, and so I assumed you were cis lady, and it's like, oh, wow, you know? Oh. I passed for the first time. By the way, this show is about positivity, as you all know. I'm going to point to the fence on this. I, Fifi Dosh, am going to be cute as shit. My testosterone is nothing. It is scraping the bottom of the damn barrel of my testosterone. I got nothing left. It's on the ropes. And my estrogen is at an all-time high, and now it's just going to act on me and act on me and act on me without no testosterone getting in the way. And I am going to be cute AF. Do you understand? I can already see it in my face. It's just going to happen more and more. And I feel good about it. I love how I look now. I love how I'm going to look. So that's that. Oh, gosh. Trans rights, Niels. Yeah. So that's fun. And, yeah, the election's such a relief, you guys. I remember I got interviewed by a reporter for the LA Times there, and I remember, she, at one of the celebrations, and she said, what do you feel? And I broke down crying, and I said, I feel like, I told her I honestly feel like we've woken up from some nightmare, and, yeah. I kind of... For a lot of that, I now realize, a lot of that I was living as a guy, and I had that, kind of detached, yeah, well, you know, Barack Obama deported a bunch of people, blah, 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 and, all that kind of stuff, and it was just a lot of rationalizing, a lot of kind of self-defeated nihilism, you know, and, I now realize that was in, yeah, well, Democrats do X, Y, and Z, and and super woke people, how obnoxious they are, they helped a lot of this happen in the first place, and that's, a lot of that I now realize was a coping mechanism, because I was really afraid. I didn't know I didn't know if he won again, if he would just win a third time. I didn't know if I'd be able to transition in America after 4 more years of Trump and Pence and everybody doing what they wanted, and it just felt so good. I really did feel sometimes is this like being in Germany in 1933, and it just gets darker and darker, and you rationalize and you go, well, that's bad, but he did this, but the other government did this, and then you wake up one day and we're in some horrible nightmare, but that's not happening. He lost. Oh, I feel so good about it. We have got to get those kids back. The immigrant kids who got separated from their families. That's just utterly unconscionable, because, I've really been thinking about starting maybe a move on, I don't know, can you start a moveon.org? I don't know. Starting some kind of petition saying that should be the Biden White House's top priority, because he said in his speech, well, America needs to, fix its problems, and we need to fix systemic racism and this, that, and the other, and, I just think, our country was literally, it wasn't a mistake what they did. It wasn't even negligence. They said, we are going to separate kids from their families, and we're going to do that as a deterrent. They're saying, if you come to this country, we'll traumatize your child. It's just despicable. We've just got to fix. If we can't fix that, what? If we can't fix that, we don't have a prayer. Like, what hope do we have of fixing anything? Like, I really think we need to. That needs to be amended now to like save them. We're like, well, slavery left a legacy of systemic racism and, homophobia, transphobia, everything. It's like, the last president said, I'm going to traumatize kids to deter immigrants here so this country can stay white. If we can't fix something that started 400 years ago, if we can't fix our own mess today, we just can't. We've got to fix that immediately. So I've been thinking a lot about what I can do just as a... Gosh. Those kids just... Those kids, just to get here, they probably saw such horrible things, and at the end of it, they could take it away from their families. How can we fix anything with like that on our soul, So, okay, I've been thinking a lot about what I can do as a citizen to try to help with that. If anyone has any ideas about organizing something, please email me at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com and maybe we could do something. A lot of people just working on stuff, really. A lot of grassroots people change this election, so maybe we have the power to do that, and we need to. So, anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening to this podcast as always. I'm not done. The last episode was a little unusual. Yeah, I debated, it kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't have even released the last episode. It's a lot of me crying and just having panic attacks, but big part of this project is to, to share with others, like, hey, this is what's going on for whatever value it is to people. Here's how I'm changing from a man to a woman, and not just man to a woman, but being kind of a fake person to the person I really am inside. And but to and also to say it to myself, so I have a record of, I can really sit here and admit to myself what's going on, So, like I said, I hope it's valuable somehow, I didn't really make this podcast to be laugh a minute. I did it to be vulnerable and to share what's up with me. And as I go through this, so that's that. I should elaborate a little more about what's going on with me on that front. I followed up with the psychiatrist on Thursday. I'm going to take some deep breaths. she diagnosed me with PTSD. So that's what's going on. And I start an IOP on Wednesday, which stands for intensive outpatient something. That just means that I don't go in anywhere, but it's like a clinic to help deal with it. I'll do it remotely for COVID, of course, but I'll do that for 6 weeks, and then I start dialectical behavioral therapy. When that's over, that'll be in January, and then in the meantime, I'm on several medications. And I don't know if that's fully sunk in with me yet, but I know on some level I'm not well. I really have had I have really not been able to relax and sit in my body lately. I feel like there's evidence that I could over this podcast for sure, and but yeah, I feel like my heart is racing, my body is all the time, and I do breathing exercises to calm me down, but it's just the second that's done, it's just up again, and I just need help. And I now realize that I've been using busyness and constant action that was a drug to cover up what's going on inside. All this fear I have. All this fear. This absolute terror and this constant anxiety and this hypervigilance. It's PTSD is what it is. So, see, I'm even having trouble sitting still. I feel like I just can't sit still. I'm on disability for the rest of this, so I don't have to worry about money. Also, once again, thank you to everyone who contributed to the GoFundMe. I really appreciate you. Oh, okay. I feel kind of shocked and numb about the whole thing, scared. But I believe I will get better, and I'm gonna, I've been through so much in my life. I'm an alcoholic. The success rate of people staying sober with that is abysmally low. But here I am, 4 years and 11 months today. And, yeah, so that's a hell of a lot more unlikely. And then the idea that I'm even alive is unlikely. The idea that I didn't die from my mental health issues 10 years ago is unlikely. That I'm sober is unlikely. That I transitioned is unlikely. So you know what? I must really be a person who's being carried through life, and things must really, really, really work out for me. And I must be a person who's capable of overcoming things. So I want to go into this PTSD treatment with that in mind. That I'm a person who can get better. Who does. Wow, does she do that. So, but in the meantime, I'm just going to accept that, my body's just going to run like this. I don't have to constantly struggle to be like, oh, I want to feel my body and feel sensual and feel safe. Look, I just need more help. And makes me scared sometimes. Kind of like I just want to be out there. I just want to be out there and achieve and make my life happen and get my house and get my career and get, and have all these friends and do all these adventures and have everyone go, look at me, look at this life I'm living. But this is just what I need to do right now. It's what God has given me, and this is just the path forward. It's confusing, too, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing stand-up anymore, and that's, I know when I don't feel a lot of anything one way or the other. I'm kind of still in shock, but I know when I made that video especially, I felt really strongly about it and I felt really good. And I want to remember that. Sometimes I think, well, there's nothing else I can do. Everything's ruined. Nothing else is going to work out. So I just have to stick to that place where I was unhappy and struggling for crumbs, and of happiness, of success, of everything. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to go where I can feel happy, and I know I can. And everything I'm about to do is just going to help me do that more. And it's going to help me feel safe and secure in myself so that I'm able to go to those places. I don't just have to go to where is comfortable anymore, because what's comfortable is killing me and is no fun at all. So, yeah. I guess that's just what's been up with me, you guys. This last couple weeks, I've just been kind of sleeping and playing Nintendo and playing a little mandolin here and there and really, really trying not to do so much stuff. I now realize in me thinking, I gotta do everything. I now realize how toxic that was and how it's just not what's to be done right now, Although, having said that, I had a meeting today with someone at Comedy Central about selling my animated pilot, my autobiographical one, and it was weird because I want to give myself credit. I really psyched myself up and felt confident. I watched some dominatrix videos before, like I talked about a couple episodes ago, and there's still that thing in my brain that's like, nothing's gonna work out, you're fucking up, you're small and weak, you look small and weak, everyone can tell you're small and weak. Nothing's going right for you. You're blowing it. You didn't do enough. And I kind of could feel like, well, that's happening. I hear that noise. That part of my brain that does that is going off, but that's not the way it is. And that's how I did the meeting. And I showed up imperfectly and as myself and just talked about what I want to do with the show. And I'm going to look at the positive. He said it was really funny. He's going to send it to their new animation executives and keep me in mind for writing positions on all the IP that they are rebooting. Guys, they're going to reboot Clone High. I heard. Do you remember Clone High? I do. If they reboot Clone High, I want to write for it so bad. I would crush New Clone High. I'm a history nerd. I lived as a man for 33 years. I know about history because men are dorks for history. They just sit around listening to podcasts about the Battle of the Bulge or any goddamn dumb thing. And then they talk about it with their nerd friends. So yeah, that would be fun. I would crush it. So anyway, I think it's just weird too, because I did it and I got all shaky. I'm like, what even am I? I told him I'm not gonna do stand-up anymore. And he goes, oh, cool. Like, he seemed that was a positive thing, that I'm really focusing on what I actually want to do and where I feel good. And, yeah. So, I guess that's just what's going on with me, you guys. And I just, guys, bang right here is driving me nuts. It's been driving me nuts the whole episode. There we go. Okay. So I guess I will, sorry, it's still hard to think. I'm scared about all this, guys, all the treatment I'm going into, and I guess the severity of it hasn't really clicked with me. Someone was like, hey, I got this job where we could do and be 50 hours a week working as a this, that, and I'm like, I have a really hard time calling her and telling her I can't, but like I was placed off work by a doctor and put on disability. And I really think that should be my job right now, is getting well. I deserve to get well and feel safe in life and not be terrorized while I'm awake by my own head. I deserve not to relive trauma over and over. I deserve not to live in fear. I deserve to be in my body and be in life. I deserve those things. I deserve those things. I deserve those things. I deserve to get well from this. So, okay, well that made it a lot more clear for me. So, I guess all right. I think that's the episode, everyone. Love you guys. If you want to email me at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com, feel free. And my GoFundMe is still active. It's on my Instagram. It's in my Instagram bio. And, yeah. I guess it's all out of my hands. I think I needed something to happen that would make it so it's all out of my hands. And, you know, I want to get back to that feeling where I'm just free. I'm just free and everything's taken care of. So, I love you. Thanks for letting me do this podcast. It helps me reorient myself. Appreciate you guys listening. And I'll see you next week. Bye, trans right snails.